If you think she's not paying attention, think again. She might not say anything, ask you about it, or even react in real time, but trust me, she's looking and taking note of things about you that you don't even know. What you say, what you do, and even the things you don't do are all recorded by her. She watches how you act, how you handle stress, how you treat others, and whether your deeds match your words. And here's the truth. Not just because she's interested, she's watching to figure out if she respects and trusts you. Are you a man who stands firm or one who gives in? Under pressure. Are you the type of man she'd be interested in, or are you just another guy in the background? That's why we're going over the 11 things you need to know today. She is looking at things that are different. The men who get respect from women who get ignored. As we go through them, you'll see how Stoic principles naturally affect how you show up, stay calm, and earn her real praise without trying to get it. Let's get started. First, the quiet observer women are much more. If you think a small mistake or a half-hearted excuse doesn't get noticed, think again. The silent observer is more perceptive than most men realize, and she notices patterns, inconsistencies, and how you carry yourself even in the quiet moments. She may not always call you out, but that doesn't mean she's unaware. You think she didn't notice when you said one thing and did another? She did. You thought she wasn't paying attention when you hesitated before answering a question? She was. Women naturally can read between the lines and figure out what's being said as well as what is. She's watching how you act in public and private, like how you treat the waiter when no one is looking. Do you only when you want to impress someone? Do you stand tall? Do you naturally ooze confidence? When problems arise, do you stay calm or break down? She's not just noticing these things, she's internalizing them because they show her who you really are. For Stoic men, moving with purpose isn't about impressing or being liked. It's about living up to their values. They don't change their posture or behavior when someone attractive walks into the room. They're just who they are, and that's what makes them irresistible. While others try to show what kind of person they are, he just is. For example, when you're out with friends and something goes wrong, maybe your order is wrong at a restaurant or someone cuts you off in traffic, do you complain or get angry? She's watching, not because she's trying to judge you, but because these moments say more than words ever could. A man who keeps his inner peace and doesn't let small things bother him stands out. He's unaffected not out of arrogance but out of self-control. And that quiet confidence is what draws her in, even when you're talking. If you're mindlessly scrolling through your phone while she's talking to you, she can tell. Direction, drifting through life without a plan, she can feel it. But if you move with purpose and your actions match your words, that builds trust, and trust is the basis of desire. So the next time you think no one is watching, remember that she is. And she's not just watching, she's feeling the energy you bring into a room. Whether you're a man who stands firm or one who wavers, whether you are truly present or just playing a role. And here's the truth. The right woman won't be drawn to the man who says all the right things. She'll be drawn to the man who lives by them. If you want her to see you as the man she should respect, admire, and desire, don't just act like that man. Everything is clear from how you respond. How do you deal with stress, a rude stranger, a sudden problem at work, or even being turned down? Do you freak out, get defensive, or complain? You take a deep breath, think about what's going on, and then act in a calm and clear way. A woman doesn't need to give you a formal test. Life will do that for her. How you deal with stress, failures, and even small problems says more about who you are than anything you say. If you break down under stress or let your emotions guide your actions, she can tell, and deep down she's wondering, Can I trust him to be strong when it matters the most? In Stoicism, a man who controls himself controls his world. His emotions don't control him. He controls them. He doesn't let a rude comment or an unexpected problem knock him off track. He sees problems for what they are, chances to practice patience, resilience, and discipline, and the woman in his life notices that strength. Imagine that you're out with him and something annoying happens. A waitress makes a mistake with your order, when someone cuts you off or plans change at the last minute. Do you get angry and let your frustration take over? Or do you shrug it off knowing that these things are out of your control? That moment, no matter how small, speaks volumes. It's not about being emotionless, it's about mastery. When a man keeps his cool under pressure, when he stays steady in the face of adversity, it creates a powerful presence. She feels safe with you, not just physically, but emotionally. She doesn't have to worry that you'll lash out, break down, or fold when things get tough. When something bad happens in life, a man who can handle it with calmness and not get upset gets respect from everyone. So the next time something unexpected happens to you, remember that how you react shapes how she sees you and, more importantly, how you become. Now think about how you've reacted in similar situations in the past. How do you usually react when things don't go as planned? Are there ways you could show more of the stoic calm and resilience we talked about? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. Not only makes you think, but it also builds a group of growth and support here on our channel number 3. Self-confidence is more powerful than confidence is more important than words. A man who is always trying to impress others will quickly lose respect. When a man is looking for approval, whether it's through talking too much or constantly trying to impress, women can tell. And nothing turns women off faster than a man who doesn't believe in himself. True confidence isn't in what you say, it's in how you act. Do you stutter when you talk, second-guessing every word? Do you play down your achievements when people praise you because you're shy? Or do you own your presence, being sure of who you are without needing approval from others? A calm man doesn't try to get approval. He doesn't ask for permission to appear. He speaks clearly, moves deliberately, and lets his presence command attention without trying to force it. He doesn't need loud displays or made-up stories. His strength comes from how calm he is, his skill to keep calm even when there are louder people in the room. When a man goes into a room without saying much, but when he does, people listen. His words have weight, not because they're yelled, but because they come from a place of certainty. Women find that kind of confidence attractive. I'm not the loudest guy in the room, but I'm the one who makes people feel welcome without trying too hard. She sees how you walk, how you hold eye contact, and how you deal with silence. A man who can be still, that person who doesn't need to talk all the time, gives off a different kind of confidence. It tells her that you are sure of yourself and don't need outside praise to feel good about yourself. Something changes. People, including women, will start to lean in closer, interested in your confidence. You'll become the man she watches, respects, and feels drawn to without even knowing why. So let your confidence come from within, speak when you have something important to say, and move with purpose. Remember that true confidence isn't about proving yourself to others, it's about knowing who you are, no matter who's watching, how you treat. It matters how you treat other people. You might think that the way you treat other people is private, but she sees everything. How do you treat the waitress when your order is wrong? The cashier. When things are moving slowly, the janitor who walks by you without noticing, she's watching. Not to test you, but because how you treat people in the smallest situations says a lot about who you are. Anyone can be nice when they have something to gain, but a man's true character is shown by how he treats those who have nothing to give him in return. Respect isn't about status, it's about honesty. A real stoic treats people well, not because he has to or because someone is watching, but because it's who he is. He doesn't put others down to feel better about himself or act nice just to impress. His actions are a reflection of his values, and that consistency sets him apart. For example, compare two men. One is charming and charismatic around people he wants to impress, but rude or dismissive to people he doesn't think are important. The other treats everyone with the same amount of respect. Which man do you think a woman trusts more? She may not say anything at the time, but she is paying attention because how you treat others shows her how you will treat her. If you are patient with a stranger's mistake, she knows you'll be patient with hers, and if you show gratitude in the little things, she knows you won't take her for granted. A man of true character doesn't change his behavior based on the status of the person in front of him. He lives by principle, not convenience. When a woman sees that, she feels something incredible. Trust that you are the kind of man who will remain strong no matter what. So the next time you interact with someone, remember that she's watching not to judge, but to understand what kind of man you really are. And that will matter much more than any words you say to impress her. How you treat people when you have nothing to gain from them says more than any words you could use. Women don't just listen to what you say, they also watch how you act. Are you consistent? Do your values stay the same in everyday interactions? Or do they change depending on who's watching? These little things don't just make an impression on her, they shape the man you are becoming. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed how a small action, good or bad, changed how someone saw you? Leave your thoughts in the comments, or if you're committed to acting with integrity no matter who's watching, just type character over convenience. If you found this helpful, please like the video. It helps us keep making videos like this. She reads between the lines. It's not what you say, but how you say it, your tone of voice and your body language. Even when you don't say anything, the breaks in your speech say something. You might think you're keeping your thoughts to yourself, but she hears them all. Notices the small changes. Women have a knack for reading between the lines. They don't just listen to words, they listen to what's underneath them. Look at how your eyes flicker when you're nervous, how your stance changes when you're uncomfortable, or how your energy changes when you're holding back. If your actions, tone, or even small facial expressions tell a different story, she'll pick it up. It's not that she's intentionally analyzing you, it's just how she is. She can pick up on the smallest doubts, the deepest insecurities, and the unspoken emotions in a way that most men can't. If you say you're confident but your body language says you're not, she can tell. If you say you don't care about something but your energy changes every time it comes up, she will notice. You can try to hide your anger, insecurity, or nervousness, but it will come out in ways you don't even realize. A stoic man doesn't need to overemphasize who he is. His words and actions back him up. His confidence isn't based on flashy movements or pointless bragging. He is calm, and that calmness naturally draws people to him. Picture two men. One is always bragging about how sure he is of himself and how in charge he feels, telling stories to prove it. The other is calm and collected, saying little but moving with confidence. His confidence shows not in the amount of words he speaks, but in the steadiness of his presence. Which one do you think she's drawn to? She can tell when you're putting on a performance or just saying what you think she wants to hear. Nothing kills attraction faster than sensing that a man is pretending or trying too hard or seeking approval. You don't have to convince her of who you are. Just be that man. Be so in line with your values and sure of yourself that your energy speaks for you. Let your confidence be something she feels instead of something you explain. The moment she realizes you don't have to prove yourself is the moment she starts to respect you, and respect is the basis of true, lasting attraction. What your goal is. Your goal is magnetic and a man is magnetic. Men who are aimless are drifting, and women can feel it. You might think that attraction is all about looks, charm, or smart words, but the truth is that she's drawn to more than that. She's drawn to the energy behind what you say and how you act. A man with purpose moves differently. His actions are guided, he is sure, and he always feels like he's building something bigger than himself. She doesn't just want to be attracted to you, she wants to be pulled into your world. She wants to see that you have a plan and that your life is moving forward with or without her, not because you're trying to impress her, but because you're naturally driven. Rather than men who need them to feel whole, women are drawn to men who are already whole, on their mission and walking their path. So what are you building? If you don't know, she'll feel that void. A man who doesn't have a purpose in life often fills the time with mindless pleasure, too much socializing or chasing approval. But that lack of direction isn't just obvious, she can feel it, and it tells her that something is missing. A stoic man chooses purpose over pleasure. He isn't swayed by passing fancies or pointless pursuits because he knows what he's working toward, and every step he takes is in line with that vision. He doesn't chase people. Instead, they follow him because they know they can't go wrong. That's what makes him impossible to forget. The men who make a lasting impression aren't the ones who are always trying to get attention. They're the ones who are so focused on their craft, mission, or higher calling that women naturally respect them. This is the paradox. Women don't admire a man who waits for life to happen. They admire a man who makes life happen. Focusing on your purpose will make you more attractive. Women want to be with guys who are defined by more than just a relationship, not because they want to be ignored, but because they want to be inspired. Stop swaying and set your sights on your purpose. Finding your path and moving with intention will help everything, including meeting the right woman, fall into place. A man's purpose is what guides him through life and makes him irresistible to others, especially women. It's not just having goals, it's having a deep-seated drive that shapes your actions and your future. When a man lives with purpose, he doesn't just exist, he thrives, and that vibrancy is hard to resist. Think about what motivates you, what gets you out of bed in the morning, and what sorts of things fuel your desire. If this speaks to you, or if you're still looking for that driving purpose, share your story in the comments below. If this makes you want to recommit to your goals, click here. Just type "Purpose Powers Progress" to get inspired to live your life not just with purpose but with speed. Number 7. Controlling your emotions, managing your emotions versus lack of interest versus lack of interest. A lot of guys get this wrong. Control doesn't mean putting your feelings aside, it means not letting your feelings run your life. Being calm and emotionally unavailable are two different things, and trust me, she can tell the difference. If you react too strongly, if you let anger, jealousy, or insecurity take over, she will see weakness. She's not looking for perfection, she's looking for stability. A man who loses himself in his feelings and snaps in anger, panics under pressure, or breaks down when rejected feels unpredictable. And in this way, unpredictable doesn't make you like him, it makes you doubt him. She starts to wonder if she can trust him to stay strong when things get tough, but going to the other extreme. If you act like nothing matters or try to avoid connecting with her, she can see right through you. Acting like you don't care about anything is just another way of hiding your insecurity and making yourself less vulnerable. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who acts like he doesn't care about anything. The balance between presence and attachment. A stoic man feels deeply but stays steady. He experiences emotions but isn't controlled by them. He can be passionate without losing control. He can care without becoming needy. He can enjoy a woman's company without needing her to validate him. He can enjoy her company without needing her to. He can take criticism without getting defensive, rejection without losing confidence, affection without worrying about appearing weak, and chaos without becoming chaotic himself. That's power, and that's what makes people want to be with you. Have faith and respect. A woman doesn't want a man who doesn't feel anything. She wants a man who knows how to deal with his feelings. She doesn't expect you to be emotionless. She wants you to be emotionally stable. That steadiness, that quiet control, is what makes her feel safe in your presence. So stop thinking you have to choose between being overly emotional or completely detached. The key is to be grounded. Embrace your emotions, but never let them control you. Stay in the present moment, but never lose yourself in it. That's the balance. And once you master it, you'll have a power that few men ever fully understand. Do you follow through? Eighth, do you follow through? What a man does, not what he says, is what makes him valuable. Acts, not words, show what kind of man you are. Shows himself. You said you'd go to the gym, did you? You said you'd get up early and get things done, did you? You said you'd take care of something important. Did you do it or make an excuse? You don't have to make big moves or give long speeches to show her that you mean what you say. She needs to see that when you say something, you mean it, and when you promise to do something, you do it. Not just when it's convenient, but all the time. A Stoic word is his bond. He doesn't make empty promises or say things just to sound good in the moment. He does what he says, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. And that's why people trust him. She respects him because men who keep their word are hard to find. How many people do you know who always say they'll do something but never do it? They say they'll start a new habit, reach a goal, or fix a problem, but after weeks of talking about it, nothing changes. Men who are inconsistent are not only unreliable, but also easy to forget. But a man who delivers and doesn't have to explain his intentions because his actions speak for themselves is a man that people respect and a woman trusts because she knows she never has to wonder if he's serious or if he means what he says. And here's the truth. Attraction isn't built in a single moment. It's built over time through patterns. If you're reliable, she'll feel safe with you. But if you're the type of man who starts things but doesn't finish them, she'll never fully commit to you. So the next time you say you'll do something, do it. Do it not to impress her, but because that's the kind of man you are. A man who follows through, a man who doesn't need approval to stay disciplined, a man who people listen to, not because of what he says, but because of what he does. In a world full of promises, it's what you do that makes you stand out. Think about the promises you made lately to yourself or to other people. Have you kept them? Remember that what you do when no one is looking is what really shows who you are. 9. How you deal with what you do to get women's attention. Women's attention. When another woman flirts with you, how do you react? Do you puffed up, letting the validation feed your ego? Do you subtly change your tone, lean in a little more, or become overly engaged as if her attention somehow makes you more valuable? Or do you stay centered, unfazed, unshaken, as if external validation has no effect on how you see yourself? She's watching, not because she thinks you'll be blind to other women, but because she wants to see if you're the kind of man who really values himself. A man who needs female attention to feel important shows a weakness, a lack of internal validation, and the moment she senses that, she knows that your confidence is weak and is based on the fleeing approval of others. A Stoic man doesn't chase attention. He commands it without needing it. He doesn't flirt back out of insecurity, or to prove something, he doesn't act differently. Just because an attractive woman enters the room, his confidence isn't situational. It's constant, built on something deeper than momentary admiration. Think about the men who are truly magnetic. They aren't the ones who try the hardest to be liked. They aren't the ones who need every woman in the room to notice them. They're the ones who move the same way, speak the same way, and carry themselves the same way. No matter who is watching, that's the kind of confidence that is unshakable. That's the kind of presence that earns respect, not just from women, but from men as well. She doesn't want a man who can't recognize beauty in other women. She wants a man who isn't distracted by it, a man who, when given the opportunity to seek cheap validation, chooses self-respect. Instead, that's the man she can trust. That's the man who stands apart. So the next time another woman gives you attention, ask yourself, do I need this, or do I already know my worth? Because when you're a man who truly values himself, nothing outside of you can shake that. And that's what makes you. Number 10, never forget how strong your silence is. Your silence not all the time. In a world where everyone wants to be heard and where people argue just to prove a point, your silence is a statement. It tells her that you don't waste time on things that don't matter, and that you are a man who picks his battles and doesn't have to react just because someone expects you to. She notices when you don't argue over small things, when you don't take the bait of a passive-aggressive remark, when you don't try to explain yourself or prove your worth. She sees how you stay calm when others get angry because she sees how you handle stress. Small things don't bother you, and that tells her everything she needs to know about how strong you are. A Stoic man knows that remaining quiet is not a sign of weakness, but of control. He knows that not every view needs to be argued against, and not every insult needs an answer. He listens more than he talks, and when he does speak, his words are taken seriously because he doesn't throw them around carelessly. Think about the men who really earn respect. They're not the ones who are always defending themselves or getting upset over small things. They're the ones who can be quiet and still be heard. Their presence alone is enough to make an impact. She doesn't want a man who talks all the time just to fill the space. She wants a man who is so sure of himself that he doesn't need to. She wants a man who can handle tension without having to break it. A man in a noisy world whose deeds speak louder than his words. You are very rare if you can stay cool, collected, and quiet when needed. So don't waste your energy on things that aren't important. Don't argue just to win, and don't react because you feel like you have to master the art of silence. The man who can sit in stillness and not let the world pull him in every direction is the man who controls his world, and that's the kind of man she never forgets. In a world where everyone is quick to speak, your choice to embrace silence can be your most powerful statement. Think about how often you speak just to fill the void or react because you think you have to. Not because it's important, but because silence isn't just the lack of noise. It's a sign of strength and confidence that doesn't have to be broadcast. Think about the last time you chose silence over speech in a tough situation. How did it feel? How did other people see your calmness? Leave a comment below about how choosing when and how to react has changed your relationships and interactions. As we continue to look into the power of non-reactivity, let's go into more detail about how staying silent can change not only personal conflicts, but also our inner peace and self-control. People who aren't being watched. 11th, find out who you are when no one is looking. You don't build your character in public. You do it in private. When no one is looking, you can be yourself. It's easy to act strong and disciplined when everyone is watching, but when no one is looking, you can be yourself. Do you stay disciplined even when no one will hold you accountable? Do you keep your word to yourself as well as others? It's one thing to tell people you're working on yourself and staying committed, but when it's just you, no one will ever know if you cut corners. Do you still hold the line? She might not see what you do by yourself, but over time, it shows in the way you walk and how confident you are. Your power, how you do things. When a man lacks self-respect and breaks promises to himself, he acts and feels differently. He may talk a big game, but deep down he knows he's not living up to his own standards, and eventually so does she. A stoic man doesn't fake discipline for others. He lives it because it's who he is. His consistency isn't for approval. His work ethic isn't a show. He does what needs to be done, not because someone is watching. He refuses to be the kind of man who lies to himself. Think about it. The strongest men you respect, the ones who carry true confidence, didn't get there by accident. They built themselves in silence. They put in the hours when no one cheered them on. They stayed disciplined when quitting would have been easier. And because of that, they don't have to convince anyone of their worth. It just comes from them. She may not see every rep you put in at the gym. She may not know about the late nights spent working on your craft. She won't witness every moment you choose, discipline over comfort. But she will feel it, the results, the presence, the self-assurance. It all comes through, even in the smallest details. So who are you when no one's watching? Because that is the man she will eventually see. That is the man the world will know. And most importantly, that is the man you will have to live with. Thanks for tuning in to today's video, where we delved into the subtle conclusion yet profound ways she's observing you more closely than you might think. Remember, every action you take, every word you utter, and even those moments of silence are conveying powerful messages about who you are. It's not just about what you do when someone's watching. It's about how you embody those values consistently, even in the quiet moments alone. If today's insight struck a chord with you, I encourage you to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed that these small things are having an effect on your relationships? What changes are you thinking about making to better align with the Stoic principles we talked about? Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this and watch the suggested videos on your screen for more ways to improve your personal growth and relationship dynamics. Your support helps us grow and keep making useful videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay aware, focused, and true to your Stoic journey.